Have you ever set a big goal to get fit, build a side project, write consistently, and genuinely wanted it, yet somehow ended up in the exact same place months later? You did everything right, set clear goals, felt motivated at the start, even made a detailed plan. But life got busy, motivation faded, and the habits quietly slipped away. We're told success is about willpower, discipline, and wanting it badly enough. For a long time, I believed that too, but something didn't add up. I watched people with average motivation make steady progress, while others with huge ambition kept starting over. So I began to wonder, was the problem really a lack of discipline, or was I playing the wrong game entirely? James Clear's Atomic Habits taught me that big results are the product of small, consistent actions. The core idea is that tiny daily habits compound over time into remarkable improvements. Clear even quantifies it. Getting just 1% better every single day for a year will make you nearly 38 times better by the end of the year. Conversely, small daily losses, 1% or worse each day, can bring you practically back to zero. This was a mind-bending concept. It means that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Progress might be slow at the start. You might see nothing for a while, a phenomenon Clear calls the valley of disappointment. But if you stick with those small gains, they accumulate into something big. In short, success is not one monumental event. It's the sum of hundreds of small actions done regularly. Another huge insight from the book is to focus on systems, not goals. We often get obsessed with setting goals, but Clear argues that the process you follow each day is far more important. In fact, winners and losers often have the same goals. What separates them is the systems they have, the daily habits and routines that actually lead to the outcomes. As Clear famously puts it, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. A goal on its own can't transform you, but a good system will. Clear introduces 4 laws of behavior change, which I've been using as the recipe for building better habits. So here are the key elements and how I've been implementing them. Key 1. Start with identity. Everything kicks off your mindset. Before jumping into what habits to build, Atomic Habits encourages you to ask, who is the type of person that would achieve the outcomes I want? By defining the identity you aspire to, you have a guiding why for your habits. This is a subtle shift from outcome-based goals to identity-based habits, but it makes a huge difference. For example, I used to set the goal like write a novel in 6 months. I didn't feel like a failure if I didn't hit it. Now, I just focus on being a writer who writes daily, even if it's just 200 words. The funny thing is, I end up writing more and more, actually making progress towards that novel, but my focus is on the system. It's a lot easier to stay consistent when your habit is part of your self-image, not just an item on the checklist. In short, decide who you want to be and start voting for that identity with small daily actions. Over time, your identity and habits form a feedback loop. Each reinforces the other. Key 2. Make it obvious. The first law of building a good habit is to make the cue obvious. Our behaviors are often triggered by something, a time, a place, a preceding event. To adopt a new habit, you need to design a clear trigger for it. One tactic is habit stacking. Attach the new habit to an existing routine or cue. For instance, I wanted to start daily language practice, so I stacked after I brew my morning coffee, I will spend 5 minutes on Duolingo. The existing habit of making coffee now automatically reminds me of the new habit. This also works in reverse for breaking bad habits. Make the cues invisible. The key point is to design your environment and routine to automatically prompt the behaviors you want. Don't rely on memory or willpower. Use obvious cues to your advantage. Key 3. Make it attractive. The second law is about tapping into our motivations. Clear suggests making habits more enticing by pairing them with something you enjoy, a strategy he calls temptation bundling. Also, tracking progress can make a habit more satisfying, which boosts its attractiveness. For example, seeing a streak of checkmarks on a habit tracker creates a little rush of satisfaction. The lesson here is to find ways to make your desired habit as appealing as possible, whether through pairing, mindset, social encouragement, or any trick that makes you actually want to do the behavior. Key 4. Make it easy. This might be my favorite of the laws because it's where I have been going wrong for years. The third law is all about reducing friction to perform the habit. In short, Make the habit as easy as humanly possible to start. Clear emphasizes the 2-minute rule. Any new habit should be scaled down to a behavior that takes only 2 minutes to do. This sounds almost trivial, but it's incredibly powerful. When I decided to start a daily reading habit, I committed to read only 1 page per day. What happened instead is that I'll often end up reading much more once I got started. By giving myself permission to do just 1 page meant I had no excuses not to start. By lowering the barrier, I can at least get myself to show up consistently. Another part of making easy is preparation and environment. For example, you can prepare your workout clothes the day before, or prep healthy snacks so that whenever you feel like grabbing something, it'll be something healthy. The easier a habit is, the more likely it will happen. This key taught me that discipline often follows design. If you shape the path of least resistance to lead towards your habit, you'll naturally do it more often than not. Key 5. Make it satisfying. The 4th law closes the loop. We repeat behaviors that feel rewarding. To ensure a habit sticks, you need to feel good immediately after doing it. One simple way I implement this is by using a habit tracker to log my habits every single day. If you've done this before, you'll know that the act of checking off a habit gives a tiny dopamine hit and visual proof that I'm making progress. It sounds trivial, but it's actually a big deal. Regardless of what you do, the point is to associate a positive feeling with the habit so your brain goes, "That felt good, let's do it again." All these principles sound great, but the real value comes when you actually apply them. Rather than just daydreaming about getting better, I wanted to have a tangible plan and a way to measure my progress towards developing better habits. As you've probably seen earlier, this template contains everything I've mentioned just now. So if you want a copy, get it for free at the link below. In the end, the goal of creating this is to simply have a system that not just reminds me of what I've learned, but also get me through the process of implementing it. Otherwise, I'll just end up reading and forgetting like what I've always done. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know if it helped and drop some of the books you'd like to see in the future.